Hello everyone, welcome back to the course Python Fundamentals Building Blocks for Aspiring Developers. So here we have the quiz for the second module just to get a revision of the concepts. Again, I would suggest that first you try and answer the question by yourself and then look on to the answer in the video. You can always pause the video, get the answer and then play the video to look at the answer. This will clear your concepts much more rather than just looking at the answer straight away. So let's begin. So we have the first question: how do you create an empty list in Python? So you can select more than one options too if you feel like that is the answer. There are four syntaxes listed here. You need to select the correct one or correct ones. And let's look at the answer. So both the option A and option B are correct. Using these two, we can create an empty list in Python. Moving on, we have the second question, which is which list method is used to add an element to the end of the list. So there are four methods listed here. You need to see if all of these methods are for lists, and for those which are for lists, which one is used to add an element at the end of the list specifically. So if we move on to the answer, the correct answer is A. This one always adds an element at the end of the list. The insert element is used to add a new element or item at a particular index. So we can add it at the last index, but the usage is to add somewhere in between. So the correct answer is A, append. Moving on, we have what is the key difference between lists and tuples in Python? So here are four options. Option A, lists are ordered, tuples are not. Option B, lists are mutables, tuples are not. Option C, list can contain duplicate, tuples cannot. Or option D, list can only contain integers, tuple can contain any data type. So you need to recall what we learned about lists and tuples and how they were different. So let's move on to the answer. The correct answer is that lists are mutable, tuples are not, which means that we can change the list after creating a list, add new elements, delete new elements, and so on. But we cannot do that with tuples. Once we create a tuple, it has to remain as it is. Option C is also incorrect because tuples can have duplicates but sets cannot. So that is why it is incorrect. Moving on to the next question, we have how do you access an element in a tuple? So these are four options. You need to see which is the correct option. This relates to indexing of a tuple, so you need to recall how we did that. Now if we move on to the answer, the correct answer is D, because indexing in Python is always done using square brackets, not using curly braces. So the correct answer is D. Moving on, we have what is the result of the following code in Python? So we have two sets and you need to see what operation is being done and what that would result in. So we have four options. You need to select the correct one. We move on to the answer. The correct answer is A, because this is a union operation and union operation will join the two sets, create a union of two sets, but only keeping unique values. Next question we have, what is the result of this one? Let's say there's a dictionary, myDict, and we try and get the value age, but age is not a key. I mean, age does not exist in the dictionary. So what would be the output? This could be kind of tricky if you haven't run into this error before, but if you think about it, you can get to this answer. So if you move on to the answer, the correct answer is C. It will give us a key error that age is not in the dictionary. So that will be all for this module. Hopefully you got most of the answers correct, and if not, keep on practicing the concepts again so you have a good grip on Python. That will be all in this video. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.